Hello everybody, and this is the Brain, back with another Minecraft video in the redstone testing world again. And the world has grown quite a bit since you were last here. Well, not that much, but it's bigger nonetheless. And as you may be able to tell by the title of this video and what's in my hand, this is an Ender Pearl stasis chamber. And you may be asking, Brain, what's an Ender Pearl stasis chamber? I'm about to show you. An Ender Pearl stasis chamber is a machine that keeps the Ender Pearl from landing, so that with the push of a button you can teleport the player who is using it to its location. And this is the entire stasis chamber, everything you see here, all that diamond stuff up there and the slime stuff down here. You may already recognize this, or you may not. Some people use this as just this is like a common design for just, well, maybe not, I don't know. This is a design for a stasis chamber all on its own, but it is unreliable, very unreliable. But I figured out that there is this has another effect. When you throw an Ender Pearl in the Bedrock edition, it doesn't go directly up. It veers forward a little bit, a few blocks, which is enough to ruin most Ender Pearl stasis chambers. You see, this was my original design. I used bubble columns, but the little bit of momentum that the Ender Pearl has moving forward will eventually cause it to fall out of the stasis chamber. So you end up with this complicated mess. And let me show you how it works. Let me show you this in action. It may take a few tries, just throw it until it works. Then you push the button, and it is now trapped in the stasis chamber forevermore. This will never fall out, and some people may say that it has the exact same effect as this, but a little problem with this is, and to make the Ender Pearl fall, you just flick this lever, and then it falls out, and boom. Now let's just try to just use this design. Even if you get it in there, if you fly too far away, if you unload the chunks, you get teleported back there. What this did is eventually this unloaded and it threw the Ender Pearl up, and because of a glitch in the Bedrock edition, when you throw something upward into a block, you clip through that block. You almost always clip through the block, which is a weird glitch in the Bedrock edition. It's on Java, but more exaggerated on the Bedrock edition. But yes, I do not know exactly why this happens. I believe it has to do with the way Minecraft loads its chunks. I think for some reason, maybe entities stay loaded for longer than redstone does and other blocks. So this redstone machine will stop working, but the Ender Pearl will still be loaded and eventually fall, thusly teleporting you back to wherever it was. Which, but bubble columns are a little different. I'm not positive that this is how it works, but bubble columns unload at the same point that Ender Pearls do, I guess. But yes, what exactly is going on? This is just 10 slime blocks going upward, one to the side of it, and a redstone block right here next to it, and just a sticky piston that causes this effect. And then some redstone linked up a very small pulse extender. It just needs to be 2 comparators. If it's any more than that, this won't work. I just inverted the signal and then used this glowstone pillar. I needed to repeat the signal because it ran out of strength. Just going upward and into these, and this is just 2 pistons holding soul sand, and this is to keep the water from falling out, and this is 4 blocks of water. And there are I think 10 blocks in between. Hold on, let me just count that out. There, but it just make it stop like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the 11th block is the soul sand. The 10th block is where I put signs just so that the water doesn't spill out. It doesn't have any major effect if the water does spill out, but by default it's open, so I wouldn't want the water just pouring on all this stuff. Oh, and it would make a big effect actually because there's a bunch of redstone down here, and redstone gets washed out with water, so that would be a problem quite possibly. So yeah, you don't want to do that. But yeah, that's about it. And with this design, it's pretty much random whether the ender pearl goes into the alignment chamber properly or not. I found that it goes in more of the time if you dig down 1 block from the piston and press your body all the way up against the piston, and then look directly upward as far up as you can go. Then you push the button. That's embarrassing. Did I break something? Oh, yep, I must have broken something. That is embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I'm just gonna fix it. Make sure there's the same amount of delay, if there is any. Just make sure it all happens at the same time. So yeah, just make sure it's the same amount of delay, if there is any. So now, let's try that again. There. Now, no matter how far away I fly, I will never get teleported back. I'm just going to show you me going pretty far. Let's see. You see, once something is out of view or thereabouts, it becomes like 100% unloaded, so that should be good. Yeah, just like that. But yeah, if you want to teleport the person, you this is really good for a PvP survival scenario, in which like one of you is infiltrating an enemy base and the other is just waiting by the machine to teleport them away, and then like they kill a bunch of people, and then when they gotta go, it's like, beam me up, Scotty. Flick the lever, and of course, if you wait till the last minute, they might be dead by the time the ender pearl actually falls. And the ender pearl does deal 2.5 hearts of damage when it lands, so keep that in mind. But yes. Oh, and if this glitch was recently fixed in the Java edition. Oh, and this machine does not work in the Java edition. I repeat, does not work on Java. Yeah, if you just put it in the chamber and just like exit the game. and then log back in. If you log out and log back in the Bedrock edition, the Ender Pearl forgets who threw it, and thus, but it doesn't disappear for some reason. It just becomes a pointless thing. And when it does land, like, let's just make the Ender Pearl land this time. No one gets teleported to where it landed because it doesn't think it belongs to anyone. So yep, that's something to keep in mind. You can't log out in between throwing the Ender Pearl into the chamber and teleporting back. You cannot do that. It will not work. So that's just about everything. And I tried putting water in this. It still does 2.5 hearts of damage to you, even if you land in the water. But for some reason, if you die, the death message says they fell from a high place, which is weird. And there's nothing you can do to even cushion the fall. Like hay bales are supposed to cushion a fall a little bit, make it do a little bit less damage, but it still does 2.5 hearts of damage if the Ender Pearl lands on a hay bale. Oh, and also, chunk loading does not exist in this version, at least not that I know of. So that you cannot set this. If you have figured out any sort of wireless redstone, it still will not work unless these chunks are player loaded. And if it's player loaded, you could just tell them to flick the lever. So yeah, that's a problem. You see, this is a chunk loader that would work on the Java edition. I have dispensers and hoppers picking up, and I have the exact same machine built on the other side, but it does nothing. This machine should be cycling a bunch of items. You see, the redstone never comes back. Well, if you go to the others, it's coming back because for some reason the hopper minecart is picking up the redstone before it can go to the other side. So if we just stare at this hopper for a while. Nothing. There's no items on this side. Nothing at all. So, yeah, unfortunately that doesn't work, and there was a design for a chunk loader at one time, but I believe that has been patched. So, yep. This is really just a multiplayer scenario, so it's completely useless to me because I have no friends. That's sad. I meant to go down. This y-axis confuses me. Well, that's about all I have now, and yep, that's about it. The 11th block is the soul sand, 2 comparator pulse extender, invert signal, soul sand, 4 blocks of water, and that's about it. Make sure it's the same amount of delay. Try to get the... You can't, if you put too much delay between the button press and the actual opening of this, it could cause problems. But I have 2 ticks of delay on here. That should really be all you need. So, yeah, it should be good. But yep, that's about all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, make sure to leave a like, and if you really liked it, make sure you're subscribed, and if you haven't already, click that bell icon so that you can never miss one of my uploads. I upload most Tuesdays and Thursdays. You may be asking why. I don't need to explain my life to you. I throw an ender pearl at your face. Okay, but seriously, please subscribe. I have no subscribe. How did I end up this far? Oh yeah, I threw an ender pearl. this has been the Brain, as always, and this is the Brain signing off. Goodbye.